Traditional console models versus new, iterative, more frequent console upgrades. I'm Ryan McCaffrey versus Destin Legary. Destin, traditional console model. It's something that where we wipe the slate clean, mostly. We take exponential boosts in horsepower from one console to the next. Iterative console development is multiple consoles of varying powers, varying capabilities, living within the same ecosystem, within the same console family, running the same games. I'm very much in favor of this new approach. I like it. It's more of a smartphone style approach. You like it a little better the old way, the way we've been doing it. There are pluses and minuses to each. Give me your first point for why we should stick to the way things are.
Well, the main reason is that, especially in the Xbox case, is they're making their audience feel fractured and a little bit confused about their marketing approach. They've launched the Xbox One Slim, which they say is selling well, but they're launching this Scorpio thing right down the line. So it's like, why am I going to invest in subpar hardware when I know that new shiny piece of hardware is right around the corner?
6 teraflop monster, as they called it.
Yes. Sony is really smart about this. They know software moves hardware. But Xbox has just said, yeah, play wherever you want. It doesn't really matter. You can play on the Slim, you can play on the Scorpio, you can play on PC, but why own an Xbox? To me, that's damaging to the Xbox brand as a whole.
With the way things have been, consoles we've lost so many great games to time. Yeah. Because that, a Super NES game, like things like the Virtual Console have helped with this, but a game is stuck on its platform, and once it's replaced by the next thing, it's kind of gone forever. I mean, what these new consoles do now is they will just have an infinite library. The library that I'll now be able to take with me to the Scorpio, to the one after Scorpio, to the one after that. And I think that's the real win here for gamers, is that there's no leaving games behind anymore.
So you and I were at the San Francisco event where Phil Spencer made this announcement, like, games are not going to be left behind anymore. We're not going to let that happen. And you and I both recognize that that was something big. That's something really special that Xbox is doing. Now, that's great for gamers. What it's concerning for is hardware loyalists to like Xbox or PlayStation, because hardware seems like it's going to kind of go away. There's not going to be a box by the table. It's going to be Xbox's evolution to maybe go the software route, where it just becomes an app on your PC or tablet, or however you access your games.
You don't think Sony's in the same tricky boat with trying to make people happy with PS4 versus Neo?
Sony is also in a little bit of hot water, where they just announced this VR bundle, and they've sold a bunch of VR bundles, and then they announced the Neo. They're like, yeah, the Neo's coming, and consumers are like, I just spent a bunch of money on this VR bundle, and now you're telling me there's something better around the corner? Why would you let me do that? And then on the developer side, on both platforms, developers are surprised and caught off guard by this, and they're like, man, this is going to be more work. I have to develop for all these platforms now, and if you're third party, you got to develop for the Neo, the PS4, the Xbox One Scorpio. So it's way more work for the developer and PC.
Is it though? I mean, we're not developers, and developers have been making games for consoles and PCs for years and years. And with PC game development, you've got your minimum recommended spec, which in this case is now going to be the Xbox One and the PS4, and then you've got your ultra setting if you've got a killer rig, which can now be the Neo and the Scorpio, right?
Well, as we know with game development, it's not as easy as file save as Scorpio, file save as PS4 Neo. No, and there's actually a developer over at 17-Bit Studios who's a little bit overwhelmed by this. It's a smaller group, and they're trying to develop a cool new product, and now they're just like, oh man, what am I going to do? And that's going to hurt the indie scene, and that's the worst news to come out of all of this.
Yeah, could happen. It could happen. So either way, this future is happening. It's always good to debate with you, my friend. We talk Xbox and we talk video games every week on Podcast Unlocked. Be sure to tune in with us there. And for much more on everything in the world of video games, whether it's your current console, your next console, or the console after that, be sure to keep it tuned right here to IGN.